Thanks to everybody tuning into another CSE listed issuer update. I'm Anil Mall. I represent the Canadian Securities Exchange, and today I'm with Mr. Jeff Stevens. Jeff is the CEO of Psyched Wellness, trades under the symbol PSYC. Jeff, thank you so much for your time. I hope you're well.
I'm doing great, and it's always a pleasure to be here speaking with you and updating the audience, so thanks for having me.
This is an exciting topic and an equally exciting company. So why don't we begin by you giving us a little bit of an introduction to Psyched Wellness? What's the vision behind this company? And this is for viewers who might not be following along and are not familiar.
Yeah, perfect. I'll give you the sort of high level. It's been probably close to 3 years since I was last on with you guys, shortly after listing. So
correct.
Psyched Wellness is focused on, primarily initially was focused on the R&D side, research and development side of a mushroom called Amanita Muscaria, which you pointed out earlier. It's a very special mushroom. People will recognize it. It's the emoji on your phone. It's the mushroom from Super Mario Brothers that's everywhere right now, but it's largely misunderstood. So we took on the task and the challenge of doing all the scientific research to determine that this mushroom could be used safely as a food supplement for people's health and wellness. We spent 2 years doing the preclinical studies, all the studies that are required to demonstrate the safety, the toxicity, the dosage levels, and be positioned to take this to market. So when you look at the sort of psychedelic sector as a whole, we're one of the few companies that actually has a product, a consumer packaged good product, that is legally sold over the counter in the United States right now. So we're very proud of that. The initial flagship product that we've come out with is a tincture called Calm. It's derived from our proprietary extract of this mushroom called AME-1. And we just started selling it sort of commercially, I would say, in January of this year. November, December were sort of test months ramping up, but we've really just sort of got to the point where we're commercially selling it. And I'm proud to say that, we've been approved for sale on Amazon.com, Walmart.com, Sears.com. And so those are really great sort of, Trojan horses for getting into brick and mortar. When the brick and mortar stores look at your product as a new entrant in a category, and they see that Amazon and Walmart, the two largest retailers in the world, have taken your product on, it gives them that comfort. So we're very proud to have that as an early achievement for the company.
Absolutely. And I think that's a kudos to you and your team for getting that product on these shelves. Now, you mentioned AME-1, which is the product you guys have just recently also, I think it was March. So you conducted a neurobehavioral study that evaluated the efficacy of this product. Talk to us a little bit about that process. What went into it and got you guys to the stage?
Well, listen, the correct word is process, because those studies were all part of a process. And that was one of a host of studies that were completed in the preclinicals to allow us to demonstrate that this is a safe product for human consumption. Before we answer that question, maybe I'll touch on one part, because Amanita, 3 years ago when we first met and we took this company public, people didn't know what it was, and it was like pushing a rope. Today, it's having its day. In the United States specifically, you can't go anywhere without seeing Amanita gummies and Amanita chocolates and vapes. And the really unique position that we're in is we're the only ones right now that have the FDA path to market via what's called the self-GRAS, so they're generally regarded as safe. So we're the only ones that we're aware of in the United States right now that legally can sell their product for human consumption. All the others are selling, a product not for human consumption, wink, wink. And so that allows us, again, to do the Amazons, the Walmarts, and then move into the brick and mortar strategy. So those studies that you talked about were so important because that's what differentiated us from the other groups. We're not basement chemists. We're using our CMO, our contract manufacturer, is a CGMP facility in Denver, Colorado. Everything that we do is third-party lab tested. So it's safe, as you mentioned in the intro. It's safe, it's consistent, standardized, and that's really important when you're bringing a new product to market, especially as a food supplement.
I noticed in late last month, the team also launched Amanita gummies, which you had just briefly mentioned. There was a partnership with a formulation house called Microdoses. I really like that play on words. And can you talk to us a little bit about that partnership and what you guys have found with
Sure. Well, there's some guys that we've known over the years in the industry. They share our vision of what Amanita can be for people, and also share our vision and wanting to bring it to the market responsibly. So not trying to catch up with like, oh, this is a psychedelic mushroom and go that route. We see this as a wellness tool and working with people and really helping them benefit them. So when we looked at the landscape of how do we, as a small company, how do we attack other verticals while you're living in a constrained capital environment? And the best way for us to do that was to partner with groups that already have the end buyers. So Microdoses has incredible relationships in the United States with those end buyers. And so working with them, providing them with AME-1, which is our extract, and then they reformulate that, put it into the gummies. We're now participating in that sector. We're generating revenue, but we're not exposing ourselves financially to, sales and marketing that comes with building a new vertical SKU. So that was really key for us to move forward. But, I think there's an area that we're going to touch on a little bit about some capital that infusion that's coming to the company, which will also help us become a little more aggressive on our own branding and our own SKUs coming forward.
Yeah. And before we jump into that topic, so there's also the product Calm that's available via these online retailers like Walmart and Amazon. Talk to us about the sort of feedback you're getting from the consumers.
Yeah, I'm so proud of this. And, as you can imagine, the first sort of year and a half to 2 years were R&D and science projects. And then you get to your formulation stage where you create your first product and you try it. And it was really like, okay, is it going to work? And it works. It works fantastically. So proud of the work that our team has done to get here. Also our CMO Vantage Hemp, they've helped tremendously. So Calm is designed to assist people with rest and relaxation. We haven't done human clinical trials, so we can't make claims, but we can be suggestive to that. So our packaging and what we inform people is you want to take this 20 to 30 minutes before you go to bed. It's going to just allow you, it's called Calm for a reason. You lie down, you feel a sense of calm, close your eyes, and you just fall asleep. And I got to tell you, as the CEO of a microcap company in this sector over the last 2 years, I shouldn't have been sleeping well. It's been a challenging time, but I've had some of the best sleeps of my life. And I'm at a point now where I was taking it every day. And obviously as the co-founder and CEO of the company, I've been taking our extract from the very first raw form to this refined one that we have now, which tastes great. People are really enjoying. I use it twice a week now because I've actually been able to reset my sleeping patterns to the point that I don't require it daily. So it's been fantastic. And, if your audience is interested, please check out our website. You'll see all kinds of anecdotal reviews from our customers who have been struggling with sleep related issues for years. And they're finding great success with it. It works. The science is it's a GABA agonist, so it works on your GABA receptors. Okay. And people are finding that anecdotally again, people are finding that this is working well for them with such issues as addiction to benzos and alcohol, because again, GABA receptors. So helping with that withdrawal of those scenarios. Again, we can't make claims. We can just talk about what our consumers are providing the feedback to us with. But it's been really rewarding because people, when they're in pain and they're suffering and they're challenged, they're desperate. And when it works, they are just so thankful. And it's really nice to get that inbound information.
And especially when it comes to your sleep, because, not being able or struggling with getting the proper rest really throws off your day-to-day life. So once, your sleep pattern is in order, things just sort of fall into place because you feel rested and mentally clear.
Well, it's the foundation, or as actually the other way of looking at it is Professor David Nutt, who sits on our board. Correct. He said like the umbrella to mental health. So, it is overreaching everything. And that's one of the key developments we had this year. You mentioned Benzinga earlier. One of the groups that I met with, Healing Maps. So they're an online destination for people in the United States to find out information about psychedelic therapy in their areas. And they get something like 30,000 visitors or 100,000 visitors a month going to their sites. And they also work with all the therapists in different areas. So we've partnered with them. They've joined our affiliate program to offer Calm to their patients pre-therapy, so that, you're going in for therapy. It's your first time, you're restless, you're anxious. Use Calm beforehand, get a good night's sleep, go in with that recharged brain and body where you can accept all of the tools that are being shared with you and all the work. and then also as a post therapy. So we're excited to build that because we think it's be a great tool for them, and then working with their network of therapists as well. So there's a lot of really cool things that are happening, and it takes time. It's not an overnight situation, but the momentum's working, and the feedback's coming back very positive.
Perfect. You briefly mentioned Professor Dr. Nutt. I think it's very important that we talk a little bit about his background and why he's so integral and important to the team.
Oh, listen, mate, Professor Nutt's fantastic, and he's been involved from day one. My co-founder, David Shizzle, who's our COO, he actually cold called him and said, "Hey, Professor Nutt, we're working with Amanita Muscaria. We're going to take the company public. Would you be interested?" And he kind of laughed and said, "You guys are crazy. You're cowboys. What are you talking about?" And we said, "No, we think we can. We've done the work initially. We know we can make a safe extract of this, doing the process, and we'd like you to be involved and help us with it." And he agreed. He wrote a paper on Amanita 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And just never had the traction to move forward with it. He's been very focused with psilocybin and MDMA and those other compounds, as that's sort of the more mainstream. But he honestly feels that muscimol, which is the main compound in our mushroom, is kind of where psilocybin was 10 years ago. So he's excited. He initially joined as an advisor. He said, "If you guys look like you're serious and you're doing it properly, I'll join as a full board member." And, we did everything very scientifically, very above board. We have a very strong, solid board and advisory board to assist us with it. And so he agreed to join as a full board member. So, you've got the guy who's the head of the chair of the scientific advisory committee for Compass Pathways, which is the largest company in the psychedelic sector. And then sitting on our board, which, we're one of the smaller ones. So he's kind of the bookends of the industry.
I love that insight. Earlier in our conversation, you mentioned a capital infusion. I know you guys have just closed a financing. I want you to talk to our audience a little bit about how that plays into your strategy and why it's so important.
Listen, I'm so proud of this. It's been a work in progress. It's been a challenging environment for everyone in our sector, in the microcap space, specifically in our sector. And we were able to attract a large, primarily cannabis investment fund out of the US, out of LA. They hadn't made an investment in 2 years outside of, supporting their existing portfolio. We're their first investment in psychedelics. And we met at the Bazinga conference in Miami, as a matter of fact, when I was there with you. And just that process started. I showed them the product, and we had samples. They tried them. And as you pointed out, just this week, we closed our first tranche, which was 500 US, so roughly 650 Canadian. And the balance of that 7 million US, so about 9.5 Canadian, is subject to a shareholder vote. So we have our AGM July 11th, shareholder vote, and subject to that going favorably, which we expect it will. We'll be fully capitalized, keeping our foot on the gas pedal, and also benefiting from the infrastructure and relationships that they have throughout the cannabis industry and throughout traditional brick and mortar. So we really feel that we've got an opportunity here for Calm to get on fast track into getting the brick and mortar. But we also have the ability now with that capital and their teams to really look at product innovation, bringing new SKUs forward. And we're talking about some stuff that's got me so excited. Like I'm smiling because I can't not. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, it's never easy launching a new company and going public, but you guys, your team did it just at during the beginning of COVID. Never made it easy, but you guys have consistently been able to meet your milestones, build shareholder confidence, and get to this stage that you're at. So speaking of shareholder confidence, what are the next milestones that our viewers and your investors can look out for from you and your team?
Yeah, well, first off, thank you. I appreciate it. And I know you guys, you're great supporters of all the companies that you list, but I have a personal relationship with you and some of the other guys, so I appreciate that. Milestones, listen, I think the AGM is key. So when we see that AGM happen and the shareholder vote, again, in favor, we hope. I can't see how it wouldn't be. At the time, we're a $10 million market cap, raising 10.2, into the company in this environment. So I think you're going to have some FOMO kick in. I think when that happens and it's de-risked, people say the money's there, it's done. I think FOMO is going to kick in because, the U.S. audience is going to say, okay, Gotham Green, what do they see that I haven't seen? What are we missing here? So, that's a big catalyst, getting that completed. And then you'll just see us start talking about product innovation and what we're working on and moving forward. And then Calm continuing to expand into that brick and mortar, talk about those retail wins and our extract sales. So Microdoses, they continue to work on bringing new orders through. We're excited to work with them. And there's a couple other gummy houses that are interested. So, I think there's going to be a lot. We're excited. I think 2023, end of 2023, 2024 are going to be a lot of fun. And, having access to capital kind of changes your mindset about how you can approach these things.
Yeah. Hey, I wish you and your team nothing but success. And I can't wait to see what you guys have in store for the rest of 2023. I know you mentioned this earlier, but to anybody that's on the sidelines, I would encourage them to go to your website, read up on your team, and background, as well as on products and where they are available. But I want you to, kind of tell us where they can go to read up on this information and do some due diligence.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, the first place to go is the website. It's sort of the landing page for everything. Our other social media pages, the Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Then CDAR, if you want to sort of get technical and look at it, and look at where we are from a regulatory side. But yeah, we don't hide anything. We're proud of the work that we've done. We've got a great team. We've kept our head down, focused on building a business, and we're very confident that we're moving into that next phase of growth for the company. And as I said, I'm excited. I'm smiling because it's going to be a lot of fun.
As you should be. I hope that we can connect again before the end of the year and give our viewers another update. But to everybody watching and listening, you've been hearing from Mr. Jeff Stevens. He's the CEO of Psyched Wellness. And Jeff, thanks again for your time. I look forward to seeing you in person, hopefully soon again.
Yeah, likewise. And hopefully you'll have your Gosh Rooms t-shirt by then, and we'll get you some swag going.
I'll make sure to keep it for the next time we chat.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much.
Thank you.